This is going to be very disorganized, so I'm giving it a warning right now. My thoughts are going to be all over the place regarding the Tower of God anime, but what I can tell you right now off rip is I didn't like it. Um, and I have to also mention that I didn't finish it. That's how much I didn't like it. I stopped watching it about halfway through the sixth episode, and then I just had no reason to continue. It gave me no reason to keep going. And I want to say that if you liked it, and you enjoyed it and you genuinely thought it was good, whether you're a webtoon reader or anime only, um, more power to you. But if you're an anime only, this is the part that you are probably gonna have to get. You have to get out of here because I'm not holding my tongue. I'm gonna talk about all the stuff from the webtoon, and things of that nature. So if you're anime only, I'm sorry, but if you don't care about the spoilers, we can keep going. But yeah, play the intro.
I got no time to parlay, unless it's big checks or parlays. I've been bricked, it's not far away. Light the spliff and I stargaze. Consultation with the constellations. They said the world was in a dark phase. It got me desperado for protection. Carry big strap in a guitar case.
So the thing with me, when it comes to Tower of God, that you have to understand is I'm not a new Tower of God fan. First of all, I've been reading Tower of God since about 2010, around there. When I caught up to Tower of God, we were in the last examination around the part where Rachel's going to push Bam, right? That last part. That's when I caught up. I was caught up around that arc. So like I've been reading this weekly for quite some time. I got into webtoons way back in the day with Noblesse. And first I wasn't even reading it online, I don't think, and then I learned about that, and then I got into the whole webtoon game like way before everyone else really started doing that. And I want to say that to let you know that Tower of God is one of those things where it's like One Piece, where it's kind of grown with me for a long time, and I like it so much. I'm very intimate with the material. Like I'm very familiar with it. As dense as Tower of God is, as full of information as it is from top to bottom and bottom to top. I'm pretty familiar with all the little nooks and crannies of the series because I constantly revisit it. I'm talking about it all the time, and I'm always doing research for videos and whatnot. So the moment something is off and I feel like the adaptation is not capturing the tone and feel of the webtoon, it's going to stick out to me immediately. So when some people are just like, oh, it's not a big deal, this and that and the other, I'm like, no, because I feel like it changes the tone and feel of Tower of God, and I felt like the anime kind of just made it feel like a regular ass show. Like I don't think Tower of God as an anime is special, but as a webtoon, for at least season one for sure, it was different. It was one of those things where I got into. I'm like, this is just the way it makes me feel, the way it approaches things is just it's not the same as what I'm used to. But I feel like the anime, just because obviously you don't want to alienate just a general anime fan. I felt like they spiced up certain people's looks and chest and this and that and exaggerations just to make it super anime. And it's like, I don't know. I wasn't here for that. And some people are gonna go down the route with the argument of it could be worse, or like at least it's not like the Black Clover adaptation. It's like, is that really the argument you want to use? It could be worse. Like it could also be better. And they go like, what are we really doing with that argument? Like that, like whether or not you like it, live your life. But that argument is so weak. Just don't say that. Just say I like it, man. Whether or not you think it's good or not, just say I like it. But don't tell me it could be worse. Like, what are we doing? I'm not the kind of person that's a fan of mediocrity. When people go, yo, you should check this thing out, and I go, nah, I'm not really interested. Like, yo, it's not that bad. Why did you think saying it's not that bad was gonna make me go, oh, it's not shit? I guess I should go peep that. Like, no, if it's not great, if it's not good, if it's not a masterpiece, I'm not interested. Really, I'm not. Things that are just kind of generally mediocre or just like a guilty pleasure, whatever you want to call it, if I come across it on my own, I'm like, this is just a funny little, you know, OVA that I like. I'll watch it on my own time. And enjoy it on my own. That's so different. But you giving me something that's mediocre, why? I'm not interested in that. I just not. All right, let's get into some like specifics. I don't like any of the changes they made. And one of the ones I know is a nitpick is the Shinsu stuff. But I don't know if they changed it in the later episode. Like I said, I didn't get past. Listen, when the Black March came out and like froze time and then kissed Bam on the cheek, and Bam was enraged and was gonna kill Hua Ryun. That just killed it for me. That changes so much. You just like, you don't understand. It changes what how the Black March is and acts, because the Black March isn't someone that intervenes like that. It changes Bam's character, because Bam, especially at that point, is just like a gentle, innocent baby with talent and doesn't know how talented he is because he's an irregular. And then you have him bloodlusted, gonna kill Hwaryun. Then the Black March comes no and kisses him and knocks him out, and it's like he like became Shinsu. I'm like, bro, what are we doing? What was the point of that? What was the point of having Kun snap on the fluorescent bag dude when Kun is not that he doesn't lose his cool and get frustrated, but especially at this point, he was just a calm, cool, collected customer. That's all we understood about him. And this random outburst and the kind of introducing some of the Maria stuff too early, blah blah blah. It's just weird because there's certain changes they made where I'm thinking to myself, okay, they did this in the interest of not trying to overwhelm the anime readers, because I admit, Tower of God webtoon is overwhelming at the beginning because there's so much exposition. In a lot of ways, we are traveling up the tower with Bam and we know nothing about the tower, so we're learning with him. When people are explaining pockets and the floors and how the structure works and tests and things like that, we're also learning because we're in Bam's shoes. We don't know, we're like not inhabitants of the tower, but it throws a lot at you, trust me. So I thought a lot of times, oh, they're changing these things just to kind of not give them not overwhelm the anime watchers with did I say anime readers before? If I did, I'm sorry. Anime watchers with too much information. And then there's all these random things that I see where I'm like, why did you do that? Like, why did you show the twin princesses from way over in season 2 so early? Like, why did you do that? And like, it's just so many instances where I'm like, I just didn't understand the change. Like, it didn't make like, sometimes when you change something, I could understand it, because I think if you do an adaptation 1-to-1, you're failing the source material, because what you're not doing is using the advantages of the medium you're translating it to its advantage. So with the music and movement and things like that, that's what makes the anime different from something you're reading. Because, well, not that there's not comics, webtoons that you could be reading that there's no movement with like gifs as panels and whatnot, which are super dope. But the point that I'm trying to make is you have to use the type of media to its advantage and use the advantages of that. So I actually never literally want you to translate it panel for panel, word for word. I don't want that. But anytime there's a change being made and I can't understand the reasoning behind it, I find that a little bit frustrating. So that's how I feel about that. You understand, with every series, I believe there was a hook, a moment that is designed to get the person experiencing that narrative to be like, okay, I'm strapped in, seatbelt on, I'm here for the ride all the way. I'm all the way in. For me, Tower of God, that was the last examination. The Han Sung-yu, when he's giving the test of the doors, basically where you had to pick one in 5 minutes. And the reason why was because I don't know what I was necessarily expecting from the series at that point, because it was so early and I was like, this is interesting. And at that point, I felt like, oh, we're going to have so many tests and instances where it's more cerebral and a little bit luck-based, then there's going to be just based off straight raw power. And I like that. The fact that Chibisu came through and was the only person who genuinely solved it, was like, oh, all you gotta do is pick a door 5 minutes because he gave us this clue, he gave us that clue, blah blah blah, bada boom, bada bing. And I was like, this nigga is smart, because I did not think he was gonna be important, did not think he was gonna be raw. And I was like, you know what? I'm in. I like this. This is super interesting. This is different, and I liked it. And then that's what it was for me. And I felt like when I watched it in the anime, it just didn't have that same feel to me. It just didn't. I didn't like it. I was like waiting for that moment. So people be like, yo, they're gonna put respect on my man Isu. They're gonna see his big brain flex. And I just felt like he was like it was part of the montage of people passing and not passing, and didn't feel like it got its own moment to shine. So I didn't like that. And that's literally one of my favorite moments in Tower of God. So that wasn't the best sign either. And I didn't like some of the changes they made with what Kun did earlier and stuff. So Sorry, excuse my voice. It's been a little bit sore, but yeah, I again, I wasn't impressed. I didn't. For some reason, I don't think Yuri comes across as she does in the webtoon as well. For some reason, I can't speak for the later episodes when she comes through to fight Ren and whatnot. If that stuff still happened, but I just felt like her and Evan, the way that they came across to me in anime was not the same general feeling I got from them when I was reading the webtoon. So I don't know. So many things are different. So many things. So many weird changes. I don't even like the action portions when they're moving. I think I actually don't mind how the characters look. Generally speaking, from top to bottom, when they're like just like chilling, not moving. I think the character models are pretty cool. And I actually imagine if this thing does go to a season 2 and whatnot, you're gonna see a little bit of a change in animation style in the terms of you could see how SIU kind of improved and tidied up his artwork as time went on. I don't know if they're gonna keep this same style, but I don't like it in motion. It doesn't look that good to me personally. And it's unfortunate because like there's so many things about this first season that I love that I really wanted to like experience. I might just watch those specific scenes, see how they did it, like the Enact backstory. And I do want to actually watch the last examination a little bit and see the iconic scene of Rachel, pushing Bam. I actually have not seen people's reactions to that and whatnot, so I'm actually not sure. Cause by then I was so done with it. I was so done, like I was out of there, that I was not even really paying attention to the anime anymore at all. Especially with everything that's going on, it just I didn't care about it. And then the webtoon was still hitting like the webtoon right now is going crazy. So. The anime to me is like a 4. I feel like I'm being a little generous. That's how I feel about it. Like again, if you like it, there's nothing wrong with that. And even if you don't think it's good and you like it, that's fine. But sometimes that mid be hitting. I understand. I get it. You don't have to be upset that I didn't like it. Don't be upset, because I feel like sometimes with certain people, when the creators that they like don't like something, they feel like a certain way. It just didn't do it for me. It didn't do it for me. I like Tower of God too much for the adaptation to be this mediocre. I think it needs to be great. I actually feel similarly about One Piece at this point. Like I don't think Toei's been doing a good job, but I don't really watch it. I watch certain moments and scenes, but I don't really watch it. I just don't enjoy it. It just doesn't do it for me. I don't think it does the manga justice. So I like good adaptations that either enhance my overall experience of the franchise or just do it better, or just give me a different perspective, because I'm like, oh, you know what, I never interpreted this scene this way, but it actually makes sense now that I've seen it animated in this form. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to rack my brain for like some certain specific. Oh, the Shinsu thing is what I want to talk about. Okay, so we know about Shinsu qualities. I'm not going to go deep into it. When Kurendohan on the hidden floor, he's splitting it to Bam, how he has the 3 and Bam makes the tension orb, and I talked about V's tension, blah 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 blah. I didn't like how when Lororo did the thing with the scene, which I thought it wasn't bad. It was okay, but I didn't like that they didn't show he was a John Sula, but I felt like Shinsu always looked like kind of like literal water, and if you know I'm stuttering. I'm sorry. The translation for Shinsu is like divine water, something to that effect. But there is like a Shinsu quality of water. We see Bam uses it a lot, Hansel uses it a lot. So it's like I feel like if you're gonna make it look like water, it has to be that quality. Though I do get the actual literal definition of it. So maybe they're trying to find this weird balance. But I don't think Shinsu needs to look kind of watery like that. I didn't like how they did it with that scene where he made the barrier. For some reason, it just didn't feel right. And I don't know if anyone else felt that way. I did watch everything in Korean, by the way. I didn't watch this in Japanese. I didn't like it in Japanese. I actually thought it was just off. It didn't feel right. I don't want to hear them calling this nigga Yoru. Don't you ever come to me talking about no Kami no To. This shit is Tower of God, bro. It's Tower of God, about no Kami no To. So yeah, like the Korean dub, I would say with the voices, I actually really, really like it. I love the Korean dub. I think it was really good. I think all the voices fit. I thought it sounded the way it needed to sound, because this is a narrative made by someone from Korea, not Japan. I don't know if a lot of people who watch anime know that, but I think I've said what I had to say. I wanted to make this a huge discussion and stream and all that. And the reason why I didn't was because I just don't feel strongly enough about it that it needs to get that spotlight. Like, the anime to me, it wasn't great. I'm not impressed. And I'm just ready to move on and just focus on the webtoon. And hopefully, you know, God of High School, I think it's out already. Hopefully, you know, that one hits. And then obviously Noblesse is getting another chance. So I hope Noblesse goes a lot better than this. But sorry guys, the anime did not impress me. Nia Hemmings, was not impressed by the Tower of God anime at all. I don't even like how the anime only perceive it, because I feel like they have, like, it's so weird to me. Like, all I really see is like connects Bam, and Bam's a simp, like jokes, memes, and whatnot. Like, it's like that's all they got. They watched 13 episodes of this rushed anime that I think tried to fit the entire first season into 13 episodes. And what was the takeaway? Bam simp connects Bam. Like, that's all they got. And that to me is very telling. Actually, you know what? People are pretty dumb. Maybe not. I'm not saying shipping is dumb, by the way. It's just done like I haven't really seen any intelligent, coherent thoughts or opinions on the Tower of God experience. I just see like really dumb shit like he's the greatest simp of all time, or he's a powerful simp, or like, oh, this simp, you know, like, it's just like that's all you guys got after watching this. So it's like when I finished with the first season, I had so many thoughts like, what are we gonna dive into the Enact stuff with her past and how the hot princess, like these were the types of things I was thinking about and my peers were thinking about. I say peers, but really it was just me, Alan, and maybe someone else who were reading Tower of God for that long. But that's just, in a lot of ways it could be telling on, you know, how they decided to adapt it. But I will say that obviously I didn't finish it. Could things have gotten better in the later episodes? 100% they could have. I'll never know. I'm not gonna check. I am going to watch specific scenes just to see how they did those, but ultimately this is the conclusion I've come to. Sorry if that disappoints you. But let me know how you guys felt about the anime. If you're excited for season 2, I will say for season 2, I'll be excited for the sole fact if we get it, I'm gonna get to see Emil Love animated. So I will watch that, and then I'm out if it's not good. And I actually did hear about a lot of the other changes they made to the anime, by the way. I was not impressed with those either, but obviously I didn't literally see those scenes, so I don't want to interpret someone else's interpretation of that. I'd rather it be my own, so I'm not going to criticize those. But anywho, I'm going to be out. Shit, I had something to say, like an announcement or something. We're going to have the discussion from Tower of Hiatus. I didn't mean to say hiatus. Tower of God, like this third season, the war and everything. That's gonna come out this week, and then when I'm going to start an Yama video, so stay tuned for that. It's gonna be a good time. I'm out of here. Y'all have a good day, and yeah, just let me know how you guys felt about the anime. I'm actually curious to see how, especially a lot of people who do read the webtoon, I want to know how you guys felt about it, so I can kind of just see, and maybe with the right comment, it might convince me to try a little bit. Like, they're still here. I can still watch that. I just don't have any incentive to. I'm out though. Tears all falling, my heart is frozen.